this is the third episode of Utaite interview, and today my guest is...
Hello. I didn't know I was supposed to say anything, but hi. My name is Luuna. I go by Luuna Loon on Twitter and just Luuna channel, I guess, on YouTube. I am an Utaite, I guess. I don't know if I would like heavily use the word Utaite, but I do a lot of covers of JP music. I also make my own arrangements and also mix them as well.
So, Luna, I have about 10 questions for you.
Ooh, very fun.
Are you ready to answer them?
Yes, I am. Well, try to.
Great. The first question is also the first question that's on almost every interview, and it's connected with question from Twitter from Serori. Who or what inspired you to become an Utaite?
Who or what? Okay. So what got me into doing like covers, I guess like in the way that you would define an Utaite is actually just like my own desire to like sing more JP music, because I'd always listened to a lot of JP music when I was like, young. I was really into anime, so like I had as embarrassing as it is to say, I like an iPod. On my iPod there would be a lot of like anime openings and endings particularly, and I'd always listen to them. And actually for a while I stopped listening because like it got really weird trying to talk to people and not finding people who were really interested in that kind of music. And so like when I didn't have much to do anymore, and like I was still listening to a lot of JP music on the side, I was like, why didn't I start trying to cover them, even though I felt I was super self-conscious about like my accent when I was singing, and trying to nail the songs, because I mean, let's be real, JP music's hard, like not to mention like the language barrier, but like the melodies that they use are super difficult. So I just started covering them honestly for no random reason. I just wanted to try and get better, I guess. And if I would say like who, I think actually what really made me want to get back into like covering like JP music was rediscovering Urashima Sakata-sen, or USSS, who I oshi very much. Like I am a very, very big crew, even though I'm still relatively new. Like just revisiting a lot of Urata-san's covers and Sakata-san's covers, and just realizing how fun it is to sort of take a song that somebody has made and sort of cover it in your own way. And I was like, ooh, I kind of want to try that. So yeah, that's basically the long-winded story.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I got it.
No worries. No, it's fine. Keep it in. It's super funny.
So you said you're new. How long are you into the fandom?
Think about 2 years. I started back in late 2019. Like actually getting into like the Utaite Twit fandom was like 2019, like late 2019. But listening to like Utaites, it's probably back like 2016, 2015. But I didn't even know like the different communities. I just knew them as people who covered songs and were really cool and sung well.
Okay, so about Utaite fandom, we're ending this topic here, I think. And
yeah, we're gonna moving along.
And let's move on. Have you ever been taking singing lessons?
Okay. How do I say this? I've never had like formal like one-on-one classical singing lessons, but I've done a lot of musical theater as a kid, like a lot of theater workshops, like group singing workshops where they kind of treat you as like a choir, not necessarily like teaching each individual person how they should sing. So all of what I do when I sing has just been experimenting or things that I've kind of learned from listening to a lot of stuff or from other people who I look up to.
So, actually, you already answered my next question.
Oh, I did.
Because it was about if you had any experiences like in choir in movie theater.
Yeah, I mean, I can just expand on that. Like, when I was in like middle school choir. I was a theater kid, yeah. So I did a lot of summer workshops, and I was part of that group of kids in my class who were really into Broadway musicals, or like would always be like belting out lyrics during breaks, yeah. I also grew up around a lot of theater kids, like a lot of my former classmates, and technically, yeah, former classmates in the two schools I've been in. We're all like super passionate about theater. Like one of my friends was part of like the local theater company, and he would get roles like Pinocchio or smaller roles in like other productions. One of my classmates, I guess, was the lead role for a production of Rent as well. So I was like, wow. I mean, yeah, I grew up around a lot of theater kids, so music, I guess, in that sense, or singing has always kind of made its way around somehow.
Okay, so that was about live singing, I'd say, and now let's go back to online singing. How did you learn to mix and use Utaite and other programs?
Yeah, when it came to online singing, I mean, I kind of just threw myself in there. I didn't really like know what I was doing, if I will be in all honesty. I will definitely say this right now. I am more comfortable as a live singer than like a recording singer, just because it's like it's that feeling when you're performing that really helps me, I think, improve. And like recording honestly just becomes more and more frustrating at times. But that's just me. When it came to learning how to mix, I didn't know anything about mixing, honestly. But I was in a band. Well, I am in a band actually, and my friends were learning how to mix on the program that we mainly used, which is BandLab. That was our main DAW, and whilst I was busy with school, they were getting so much time to like sort of work with BandLab and figure out like what works, what doesn't, and then they would give me all these tips and advice, and then I sort of took that and learned to work with it. So like when it comes to panning vocals or like what little things do, like now, honestly, I'm trying to educate myself a lot more on like mixing and learning how to use different effects and different tools. Like EQing is still a mystery, using compressors is still a mystery, but I think what I know and like what I've been able to do is just sort of experiment to see what kind of sound I like, and I think that's just sort of what's become, I guess, my style of mixing.
Okay, so now let's go to memories. What are your best and worst memory about being a Utaite? An Utaite, I'm sorry.
It's okay, no, it's fine. Best and worst memories. Oh god. I can't really think of like a worst like memory. I think probably it's like definitely like in the beginning when I was still starting out my channel, and like when I was still trying to figure out like what I'm doing and like just seeing views, because frankly this is also something I'm trying to like work around, is like, not really worrying so much about view counts and like interactions. Like, I feel like we can't help it sometimes, but I get super self-conscious about it sometimes. So definitely, like, when things that I worked really hard on didn't really get the same recognition that I was hoping, yeah, that definitely sucked, and I would be really sad about it. But I think so far, like, most of my memories as being in Utaite, I guess, have all been really good. I mean, I've met so many incredible people, got to work with so many like talented singers or artists. I feel like even now, like when I work on things, like it's so I can distinctly hear the difference between like when I started to like what I can produce now, and it's honestly kind of amazing how much how much progress I've made in like such a small amount of time. So I mean, that those kinds of memories in itself are like, I think, what keep me going the most.
Yeah, I agree that realizing your progress is a great thing. And I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Well, this is interview, so obviously I have a question.
Yeah, it's fine.
Um, when you started, did you meet any hate or someone who was just unkind?
Honestly, no, I had not. Just because also, like, I think something I don't really talk about a lot, or I've only maybe talked about a couple of times, that I was actually really shy with my music. Um, I loved singing and I loved music, but I was always really shy and really sort of critical of myself. So when it came to like covers, I would only really show like close friends, and I'd always be like, hey, maybe you want to take a listen if you're free. Like, the way I'd always word it is like, it's something they don't have to do, or they don't have to listen, because it's like, I don't know if I could, if I had the power to like ready myself for any hate. I was very lucky to not have like a lot of negativity, but I guess that's always made me fearful for like, am I doing enough? Like, are my covers of good quality? Do people actually enjoy what they hear? It's those sorts of like overly thinking and overreacting to like little to nothing. So yeah.
Okay, so next question is not from me, but from Koru, who asked it on Twitter.
Oh no, I think I know which question this is, because I saw the reply.
No peeking!
I'm sorry.
Will there be collabs with Japanese Utaitas?
Oh my god. In the foreseeable future, no. I'm sorry. I have like talked to like a couple of Japanese Utaitas, but like I have not, like some of the smaller ones, but I've never really like reached out and be like, hey, let's collab or something, because language barrier mainly. But after I got to work with Future Trace Sun, when he reached out to me to sing Paranoia, I was like, what? The language barrier wasn't too bad, but I think I still want to improve on my Japanese before I try to like do collabs with Itaitis, just because I feel like it would make the experience more enjoyable if I did.
You mentioned language barriers, so how long have you been learning Japanese, and what level are you? Is your Japanese?
Honestly, like, I've been learning very on and off, just because like school, and I'm also not somebody who does super well with self-disciplined learning when it comes to languages. I'm trying to like find other methods to get better and like methods that actually work for me. But I think now like I can read at least, and like when I listen to conversational Japanese, I can sort of get the gist of things. But when it comes to like actually speaking or forming sentences, like responding in any sort of way is difficult for me. But apart from like basic greetings and stuff.
So now for this one question, let's actually for this one or this two, depends on your answers.
Okay. Okay.
Let's move from singing. Do you do other things than singing?
Other things than singing? I mean, yeah, I work on arrangements. I feel like that's sort of something that, like, in the general community, or in the, like, not the general community, but, like, in my, I guess, circle of followers or mutuals, like, that's what a lot of people know me for, is that I make arrangements because I play different instruments, and I've been learning to try to make my own instrumentals for songs if I ever come up with them. I also do write my own music. That's a completely another different set of things that I can talk about, but I'm not going to talk about it. But apart from that, I mean, I could list a lot of different things, but if we're talking strictly, like, within the realm of, like, Utaite things, then arranging music, like, writing music, like, anything to do with, like, the production of music has always been something I really enjoyed doing, even if, like, it gets frustrating at times. It's still something I find a lot of enjoyment out of.
What's your biggest dream? Either with your YouTube channel or private or whatever you wanna answer.
I mean, if it's like, okay, so, I mean, I don't think it's like a dream, but well, I guess you could consider it a dream. Like, I've always hoped that, you know, someday, like most people, my channel would, like, you know, blow up or something, or like I'd get like a good following, so I could really start, you know, pumping out music, because it's really like a lot of the people who have, like, said things about, like, good things about my music that's really kept me going, and as weird, apart from, like, my own desire to make music and what music means to me as a person, everybody's support has been, like, really what keeps me going. So, I mean, there's always that hope of, like, making it with music, but I guess I'm also very, very realistic about it, that it's hard. I have relatives who are trying in the music industry as well, and they have told me a lot about, like, you know, the realities of working in music or working in the arts, and, you know, it's difficult. So it's something I always try to think about. But if we're talking, like, private dreams, I mean, I guess just finishing my education, and, you know, making myself have, like, a stable lifestyle so I can continue to do music, I think, is one dream that I do have.
This is the moment where I'd like to say I wish you the best luck with your dreams and say goodbye.
you.
But before I can do this, we
Oh?
have one last question
Oh, okay.
from, I don't know if I can say from who, because this person privated their account.
Yeah. Okay.
So, actually, just today saw this question because I was like, hey, this might be someone I follow. And yes. So,
Yes.
from this anonymous person, what instruments do you play?
What instruments do I play? Well, I play guitar. I prefer acoustic to electric. I play bass guitar. Just because I used to be the bassist for my band, but now I've kind of drifted away from that. But I still do play. I play a little bit of piano, like a very, very baby amount of piano. Ukulele, and then I always laugh when I say this because people are like, what the heck is this? I play the melodica. It's, if you don't know what a melodica is, just search it up. It's basically like a mini piano that you connect with, like, a tube or, like, a little sort of mouthpiece, and then you blow into it, and then it makes, like, a sound which sounds something like between, like, a saxophone and an accordion.
Now I'd like to ask, do you have any of these instruments nearby so you can play something a little?
Yeah, I do. Wait, let me see what I have, because like my room, or like where I am right now, is like kind of my mini studio also. So, I don't think the electric guitar is a good idea because it's not gonna pick up well unless I plug it in. But honestly, I'm lazy, so I'll just get my ukulele. Hold up. So, I technically have 3 ukuleles, which is a lot, but one of them was the one I brought when I had to move. One was a gift from a friend, and then one is the one that I mainly use, which is the one I have here. You want me to play? I don't know what to play. Wait.
Maybe the song you want to cover next.
Oh, song I wanted to cover next. Oh. Wait. Oh no. I guess I can just stick with that. Yeah. I'll just do like a chorus. So, this is something I'm hoping to work on very soon for an arrangement. I'm not gonna say the title because people will automatically know when I sing it.
This was great, really.
Thank you. I mean, I don't know.
So probably everyone knows what this song was, but if you didn't know, then you know.
Then you'll know. You'll know. People will say it, then you'll know.
Okay, so this was the last question, and now I can say what I wanted. So I wish you the best with your dreams.
Thank you.
And this is the end of the interview. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for having me. I had such a fun time.
And bye bye.
Bye bye.